So this video is going to be a little bit more advanced. We're going to do a bunch more stuff. We're going to try and create, I don't know if you've seen it in Animal Crossing, you can shoot a slingshot into the sky and shoot a balloon at the sky and then click that balloon, which has got like a present on it or whatever. We're going to create something like that. We might even create like a system where you've got to collect a few of them to win the game, shoot so many of these at the sky. And we're going to be doing a couple of slightly more advanced stuff. But hopefully it should be straightforward, and I'll try and explain it all as we're going. So let's start by opening up our character. So we're just going to click it, find a meta hierarchy, and then bring up the window. And what we get. Let's just go to some space. And in some space, we need to set up an input. We should set up an input. Let's just set up an input. Should do this first, so we'll go to settings, project settings, wait for the window to pop up, scroll down until we find input, and create a new controller. So we've created a bunch of stuff already, so we need to make sure we don't use some we've already used. I think I left triggers free. So I'm going to click add, call this slingshot, and I'm going to set to left trigger, and I don't know, maybe a keyboard value, which I'm not actually going to use. I'll just do K. So inside here we want to get our input, which is slingshot, and on the slingshot we want to do a couple of things. We want to first we're going to want to fire it, and we'll do it on released. So we're just going to throw a print string in. So I always like to put a print string in just to make sure everything actually works. And then we are going to create our actor, but we don't actually have an actor. So let's quickly create an actor. So I'm just going to right click in some space at the bottom, create a blueprint, and create a blank actor, which we'll call it stone. And just go BP. Double click that and open it up. And we'll just add a simple sphere to this. And I've got start content on, so I'm just going to go for, should we try brick clay? That is not what a stone should look like. What should we go for? Pebble. Cobblestone pebble. Okay, maybe not that one. I suppose it doesn't really matter. I'll just go for that. It doesn't really matter. And I'm actually going to scale it down a bit. But the key to this is we need to apply something called projectile movement. So if we use our search bar, add component, and then use the search bar, we can add projectile. And for now, I don't know what will be best. Let's just say 1,000. And we'll see what happens with this. So we can go back to our player now, and we can say spawn actor, because we just created our actor, and that actor is going to be called stone. Now it says, where do you want to spawn from? And the way projectile works is we just set a value, but it doesn't actually know which direction to shoot it from. And for that, we need to read from our player. So let's quickly go back to our viewport. And let's add another arrow. And this arrow, I'm going to put, because in the game it sort of shoots upwards. Like this. So yeah, that should hopefully work. So we can see the way in which it'll go. We've given us an error, so I'll try to press compile. I need to get my arrow component. Also make sure that is, we'll just do it off the mesh. Doesn't really matter, I guess. As long as it tracks. And we want to get world transform. And we can see this green transform goes into transform. And let's give it a quick test, shall we? Did I compile and save that one too? So hopefully when we press the left trigger, we should see some stone shooting off. We don't. Why don't we? When input slingshot is pressed, press hello and do that. Did we compile and save it? Did I definitely set that up right? What was the button? Did I say K? Okay, so it's working with K. Not got enough force. Let's quickly change that. I want to just quickly check my input. Input slingshot. Okay. Oh, apparently I forgot to set left trigger. Left trigger. I know in my mind I wanted to set left trigger, but clearly forgot. There we go. So, needs a bit more velocity. Let's just add another 0 to that. See if that makes much difference. I'm going to scale it down a touch as well. It's still a bit big. I don't know. Let's go 0.3. Cool. So when we press that, it's going to spawn this thing. Great. But again, in like Animal Crossing, there's the camera shift change. So let's make the camera change. So at the moment, this is our current camera that we're rocking. We're going to add component again. We're going to click camera. Now, if we were being really organized, we would rename these, but for sake of speed on the tutorial, I'm not going to bother. And loosely, so I'm going to put this there, give or take-ish. I mean, we'll get an idea in a minute once we see it. And now, if you want this camera to be able to move when we're looking around, have it stuck to the camera boom so we can move that with our left stick. But I'm going to want it static, so I'm just going to, again, just stick it to the arrow. And we need to make sure that by default, this one doesn't turn on, because we want our main camera. So when we press left, in fact, what we're going to want to do, we can get rid of that now we know it works. When we press left, we are going to want to switch to our camera. So let's get access to our camera by just dragging it in. We'll just say set active. So when this is currently pressed and held, we're going to set this as active. I'll just move this out of the way for now. In fact, and get some space. And at the same time, we want to deactivate this one. So we'll set active. So this one will be active, so we tick that box. And then we're going to leave this one blank. So when that's pressed, set active. And then when it's released, we are going to want to spawn. We could play sound as well. And I'd recommend just like playing the sound of that. I think I've only got that one sound in here. Oh no, we've got a bunch. What should we go for? Fire, light, smoke, start music, steam. We'll just go for explosion for some reason. So when it's released, we're going to fire off a quick explosion sound. We're going to spawn a bullet. And then we are going to pretty much do the same thing, but I want to do it on a bit of a delay as well. I don't want to instantly snap back. I don't know, 1, I guess. And I'm just going to grab these, hit Control W. And so we need to switch these around. So I'm just alt click. So follow camera is going to become the new active one, and this one's going to be deactive, inactive. Let's give it a test. So hopefully when we press and hold, it switches to our other camera. I couldn't actually tell if it was firing. I mean, we couldn't actually see the stone because of where the camera was. So let's just grab you, move you a bit more like that. And shall I move it touch to the side? Maybe. That should do for now. Let's just give it a quick test, see if that's any better. Yeah. Awesome. So we're firing those off into the sky. We should put a delay in as well, so we don't want to actually get some multi-fire. So when it is pressed, let's actually do a quick check. And we will go branch. We'll create a new thing and we'll call it can shoot. So if it's true, do this, and then when it's released, we're going to want to set this can shoot, set can shoot to false. And then after we're done, after our delay, we're going to set can shoot again to true. So that should stop us just firing these off like crazy. Broke the camera a little bit. Let's just increase this to 1.2. Can shoot. In fact, no, we'll leave that one. And then we'll just put another teeny tiny delay here. 0.2 should do it. Cool. What should we do next? Ooh, let's have a little mess about with the animation, shall we? So I'm just going to move these windows out of the way. I'm going to go through to my mannequin, into my animations, and we've already got a bunch of animations, but we've not got a slingshot on. So we're just going to quickly make a bad one. So I'm going to get my idle. I'm going to duplicate it. And I'm going to call it third person sling. And open it up. Alright, and this is what it looks like. So to edit this, we're just going to simple edit. Let's go to starting. No, we'll go to about 20-ish frames. Let's grab our shoulder. Let's move our arm up. So it's a little bit sort of slingshotty. Let's click to add keyframe on this one. And let's move our wrist up a bit as well. Maybe rotate that. Click add. Let's get our neck. Rotate this back. Click add. Oops, we need to set 0, so let's just put head back down. Get our shoulder again. Ooh, we're going to insert the body. Click add, and we're just going to scroll this bar across. So he's going to shoot up. He's going to look up as he's doing it. Should maybe try and like rotate his back a bit. Can we do that? Can we find his spine? Yeah, that'll do. One. We need to pull that back as well. Add. So he's going to go up and shoot. He's going to hold that for a second. Oops. And then he's going to come back down to his bad posture, slanted position. Bring the arm back in. How does that look? So arm goes up. Immediately starts coming back down. We'll fix that in a minute. Just get the head, pull the head back down, add key. So arm goes up, shoots, just hold it up for a little bit longer. Just get upper arm, add key. Okay, so arm goes up, shoots, arm comes down. Done. That'll do. Just click apply, press save. And let's go back to our character. So, what do we want to do? After we switch camera, we want to play the animation. Play animation. And this is going to be off our mesh. And that animation is going to be our sling animation. And which we're going to do another delay. Of how long? What should I say? I don't know, mint a second. I don't really see how long the animation was. We can trial and error. And now we want to set our animation mode back to what it was before. Okay, let's give this a test. So we run around, hold L2, looks up. If we hold it too long, the fire breaks. But you know what? It's fine. We're not going to go crazy over this. Okay, because it's been probably a while making that. Let's make the balloon system, shall we? So let's go back to our blueprints folder and let's create our blueprint class, which should just be an actor again. And we'll just call it Easter balloon underscore BP and open that up. Alright, so in here, let's add a sphere. It'll be our egg, our Easter egg. There we go, looks a little bit eggy. We've got a nice sort of colour in here. Gold, there we go. Nice gold Easter egg. And shall we add we need a balloon as well, so we'll just get another sphere. And I'm just going to set this to about, I don't know, 1.4. And call it balloon. And we've got something a bit plasticky. I don't know if we've got anything. I'm just going to scroll and click one. Table round. Nah, that was a bad decision. Walnut. Shelf will do. Sure. Doesn't really matter. We don't care that much. Show a cylinder just to make it look a bit more. There we go. Worst balloon ever. But you know what? It doesn't really matter. That'll just do for now. So this is going to float across through the sky. Our egg, we want to shoot it, destroy these components, and drop the egg. So what are we going to want to do? Let's go to our event graph. And then say, let's get our egg. And then we will add offset. Add local offset. And I don't know, let's just say minus 10? I don't know, we'll find out. Best way to do these things, drag it in the level. And then press this little down arrow, find some of it and see what happens. It's a bit fast, but, and it's also in the wrong way, so let's do that and we'll set you to -5. There we go, that's better. In fact, we'll just go -2. Actually, it was an opportunity to actually shoot this. Cool. So once that spawns, we then need to, let's add a collision box to it, because we want the best chance of actually colliding with it. There we go. So let's get our collision box and say, we'll scroll down so we can get our event. If begin overlap and the other actor is the stone, Then let's just do a print string so we can see that it's been hit. And then from here, let's get reference to our balloon, get reference to our cylinder, and we'll just say set visible. Ooh, also we're going to need to do a Boolean check on this, saying is floating. So let's grab a branch or an if statement. To do that, I just held B and left click. And we're going to promote a variable, and this is going to be is floating, which by default is true. And so when we hit, we also want to set this to false. And what I'm going to do as well, just for the sake of test, so I'm just going to grab like a few of these, just going to duplicate it by holding Alt. Ooh, interesting. That collision didn't work. Let's find out why. I think it's because our stone's not got a collision on it. So it works when we do it from that side. So let's just do it from this way then. So instead we're going to register the balloon on the stone. Why didn't it work on the other way? I don't know. So what we'll do instead is we'll just go to the balloon, and instead of doing this on begin overlap, cast over to stone. Why didn't that work? I don't know. I don't know. Instead, we'll just create a custom event. So add custom event, which we'll call it hit, and wire that up. So now when the stone hits this, we're going to shout. We're going to call the function hit and see how we get on with that. Hey, so it deleted the thing, but we need to now turn on physics for it. So in practice here, we don't need that anymore because it worked. Is floating, and then let's get egg, simulate, set simulating physics to true, and let's see how we get on with that. There we go, we've now got an egg, but because it's got a dodgy collider on it, maybe we should have put an, because it's got a square collider on, it's just been a bit weird. But we now have an egg that we can get out the sky, and I think that'll probably be that for this one, because I'm going to do a video on collecting items, and that'll be pretty much the same as this one, and this content of this video actually took slightly longer than I thought it was going to take. But to recap real quick, so we've been to our third person character and we're saying when slingshot is pressed, if can shoot, we're going to set the camera to our camera position, and then we're going to play the animation, and then we're going to after a minute we're going to set our animation back to regular animation, and then upon release we're going to play the sound, play can't shoot, so it can only create one delay, set the cameras back to normal, and then set back to can shoot. So as that we've created our bullet, and we've created our animation, and we've told our bullet, our balloon, what's happened when it gets hit. And yeah, we could, in the level blueprint, go, why not? Let's just do it real quick. In the level blueprint, if you wanted to create a system that would spawn these, we would just go to event, begin play, and let's just quickly create a new function called spawn egg, and then we're going to set that function to spawn an actor, which is going to be our egg, which now I called it Easter, didn't I? Easter, but we need to get a transform value for that, which, I mean, you probably want something a little bit random, so let's split it, and let's get our location, and let's split that again, and let's just quickly go to our world. I'm just going to drag a sphere in. So let's say I want I want my eggs to spawn here, which is, if we're just looking at the eggs for this, that's minus 2000. So the x is, well, we're actually going to want a random float in range, which is going to be a minimum of minus 2000. We're not going to be bothered about the, well, maybe no, maybe we would be bothered about that. I don't know. We'll just say on this one we are 4370. Okay, 4370, and then we'll just say 5000, and our height is 1660. 1660. And then event begin play, we're just going to say set function by timer. Let's set time by function name even, which we'll call spawn egg, loop it, and every, I don't know, 1 second, we'll just do every 1 second for the sake of testing, and increase that later. So if we hit simulate, so we can actually see if it works, so you can see it's spawning lots of eggs now. Lots of eggs. I mean, it's spawning them too often. We don't need this sphere in the sky anymore. So let's just set that now to, I don't know, 3. And delete some of these eggs out of our level because we don't need them all now. Boop, boop. You know what the problem was actually when we destroyed the Easter balloon, we're only setting these as invisible. We actually should remove the components. Remove component. Can we remove components? Destroy I think it's destroy component. Destroy components. So I don't think set visibility is working. What we need to is, like, say destroy component, and that should do the job better. That should give us better collision. Make sure that box is attached to your egg as well. Is there anything else we should quickly fix while we're doing this? Because it is a bit messy. But you know. There you go, it's got better rolling collision now. Which is good, because we destroyed that component. And we're still spawning some of these in. Yeah. Oh, outside. There you go. Wow, that was a big one, right? We did a whole bunch on that one. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. Hope you found that useful. Thanks for your time.